Good morning, everybody. Mr. Jamnik here. Hope everyone's doing well. So, for this week's lesson and the next week or two, we're going to focus on, actually, it's one of my favorites, is talking about, I'll put it right here, probability. Okay? Sorry for the little sloppy. But probability, there's so many cool things and projects and activities that we're going to do, and I'm going to send you guys that you can do in your house, around where you live, if you can get out with the weather. So many great things. So with probability, we're going to start focusing on is pretty much the I can. We're focusing on the I do, we do, you do. So when I go over like the I can, after that, throughout the week, don't forget I upload your student textbook, and on your student textbook has the guided practice that has independent and it has the open-ended HOT higher order questions for you, and it has tons of examples that you can follow through as well, with my instructional videos too. So the I can, okay, is I can describe a likelihood of an event. So what does that mean? I can describe the likelihood of an event. So you think about, board games or deck of cards, or we're going to go over in a second about rolling dice or candy. Let's give an example for like a real world that you guys think about. We've been quarantined for a while, so when you think of like candy, let's say one of my favorites is like Skittles. So you think of Skittles. If I bought a bag of regular Skittles, with the red, yellow, green, and I opened the bag, when you think about the probability, if I say like my favorite color is yellow. So if I reach into the bag and I wanted to get a yellow without looking, I had to think, well, let's say there are 20 Skittles in a little bag. What's the probability if I just reach in without looking, I'm going to pull a yellow, right? And that's the things you're going to think of, or if I reach in and pick out 4, what's the probability they're going to be a certain color, or, anything like that. So you just think about these things that really, apply to it. Because I know when, if you get a bag of chips is a little bit different, because the bag of chips is really saying that, you're getting what you get. That's the same chip. But when you think about candy and other things that you're doing, if you're playing a board game with your friends or family, you're trying to strategize and think of like, oh, if I need to roll a 5, I can win. Or if I need to get a 2, then, so there's all different things we're going to look at. But I just want to give you the basic overview first about the I can describe the likelihood of an event. So that's what dealing with probability and figuring out something. And sometimes you have to use something to do it. You can't kind of just guess. You can, in some sense, not guess. You can estimate what you think it might happen, because we're going to focus on now with a dice. And when we think about the dice, we know that it has 6, right? 6 different sides. I mean, there's tons of different ones that have 10, 20, whatever it is. They make different shapes. We're going to focus on just a regular one. That's a square. A cube has 6, right? So if you think about that, right, if it has 6 sides, 6 possible ways that you can get a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's the probability? And it's going to be based on questions that you're going to be answering. So if I had that in my hand, a dice, and I will get the ones that I'm making that I'm going to show you guys in the next couple lessons. But it says here, rolling a number less than 7. Okay, so if I'm telling you the dice has how many numbers on it, right? If the dice has 6 numbers, so if it has a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so think about that. The question says, what is the probability of rolling a number less than 7? So, this is how you're looking at it. Is 1 less than 7? Yes. Is 2? Yes. Is 3 less than 7? Yes. Is 4? Yes. Is 5? Yes. And 6? Yes. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the way it's saying is, what is the probability of me rolling a number that's less than 7? Probability is going to be 6 of 6. No matter how many times I roll it, I know I'm not going to get a what? I'm not going to get a 7. So that's where it's telling me that rolling a number, the probability of me getting a 7. So if I roll the dice and I get a 3, it's less than 7. I want to roll it again, it's going to be less than 5. Now, if I'm asking you to add those numbers and stuff, yes, that's when it could be a little bit different. But we're just focusing on 1 now, just to get the basic overview about an I can statement that we're describing in the first module, describe the likelihood of an event. So rolling a number less than 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the likelihood or the probability of me rolling a 7 is going to be 6 of 6. Okay? The next part is rolling an 8. So if I want to roll an 8, what's the possible rolls? I know that I have, again, the dice has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm thinking about the probability that I want to get an 8. Well, I know that if I'm only focusing on the dice that has 6, and I'm looking at it, I turn it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Wait a second, there is no 8, right? Because the first question is saying if I get less than 7, the probability of me getting a 7 is less than 7 is 6 of 6, because all these numbers are less than 6. There is no number on there that is greater than that. So if I'm thinking of rolling an 8, what's the possible outcomes I can get? So again, it's going to be 0 of 6. The reason why this is 6 of 6, because it's asking me if I roll a dice, what's the chances I'm going to get a number that's less than 7? So if I roll it, I know that the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are all going to be less than 7. That's why it's 6 of 6. Then it's asking you to rolling an 8. So I know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the dice, there's nothing else that I can roll. I'm not going to be able to roll an 8. There's no way. So that means there's 0 chance of the 6-sided dice that's going to give me the probability of getting an 8. And we're going to work on these as we continue along, but this is just the basic likelihood of when you're focusing on different factors of probability. And then the last one here says rolling a 5. Okay, so if I'm rolling a 5, how many sides does the dice have? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so how many total does it have? It has of 6, right? 6 sides, right? Same thing. 6, 6, 6. But for this one, it says, what's the probability of me rolling a 5? So how many 5s do we see here? And the answer is just 1 of 6. So when you're taking a look at this, let me just refresh for this module. So probability and likelihood of events. So the I can statement is I can describe the likelihood of an event. Okay, so we're thinking about a dice that we're using. Okay, and when we're doing that, it has the 6 sides, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you're looking at that and you're thinking about it. So you can even pull up a picture of a dice on your computer if you have it at home. Take that out, look at it, and then really visualize what you're going to do when you have to look at the questions. So if I said rolling a number less than 7, okay, on the dice there's only 6 sides. So the chances of me getting a number less than 7 is going to be great. It's going to be every time I roll the dice, I have a chance 6 of 6. And then when I need to roll an 8, I know that the dice has greater the number of 8. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would be 0% chance of rolling out of a 6 to get me an 8. And then the same thing of rolling a 5, right? Now, rolling a 5, that is a possibility. So if I just ask you, what's the probability of me rolling a 5? Well, if there's 6 sides to the dice, and I roll it, I know I have a 1 out of the 6 chance of getting the 5. Same thing as if I change this number and asked to do, let's say, a 2. How many 2s are there, right? 1. So same thing, it'd be 1 of 6. So there's many different ways, and we're going to continue to work on this. I'll show you guys different illustrations and examples. But this is the I can that we're going to start off with Module 12, and we're going to work into all different types of probability. Okay, so check back when I'm going to show you guys the actual visual to really hone in on how to find everything from probability, the likelihood, not likelihood, and how it ties into everything. Okay, have a great day.